All right, so this is week one, module 3, and what I call the intelligent designs niche. Now, when it comes to niching, everyone has the question, which is a good niche? Which is the most profitable? Scott, which one do you recommend? As much as I'd love to answer that, I cannot because I'm guessing. Do not ask other mentors because they're guessing. Do not ask your friends and family or people on social media. They are guessing. The worst thing you can do is ask a failing therapist what they would recommend, because all they're going to do is give you their mistakes as well. When it comes to business, it is 100% logic. We have to take out the emotion out of this and look at what we call the data. And we're going to look at that today. All right. So intelligent design niche. First, we'll look at the anatomy of a coaching and hypnotherapy business, viewing your market and your niche, and what I call symptom hunting niches. Okay. Picking your niche, finding your profits, committing and moving forward. Now, some of the worksheets will be attached to this. Some are still in the 100K, but you'll get a flavor for where we're going with this. Okay. Let's look at the anatomy of your business, because a lot of therapists, coaches, it doesn't matter what you are, NLP, you guys, they confuse what their clients really want, and it muddies the waters when it comes to creating an offer, the price, the niche. So let's break it down into its bare basics. This is it, guys. This is the anatomy of your whole business. On the left-hand side, we have clients in a current situation, but they're in a current situation of symptoms. Smoking is a symptom. Anxiety is a symptom. Everything your client tells you as to what they think their problem is, which is 100% every time, is a symptom. So the reason I bring this up now is because a lot of therapists, coaches alike, they will start a business and try and sell the root cause. They'll try and sell the type of therapy. They'll try and sell an end result that is vague and not particular. So when we do the marketing, if I'm marketing to lawyers that I know need to quit smoking, I'm going to market it for that, knowing full well that I'm not going to fix the smoking in the session. But if I market them as it could be childhood trauma for when you got laughed at by your sister because you couldn't tie your shoelaces, I can't put that in my marketing message. Because the lawyers are looking and go, what are you talking about? I just want to quit smoking. I don't even have a sister. A lot of people will sell, I can help you with past life regressions. Clients don't know what that stuff is. The only people that do are other therapists. We're thinking about average Joe on the street. So their current situation, they want to go to a desired situation, a life-changing result. We know we're here in the middle. That's going to be the session. Marketing, session, result. Marketing, session, result. Clients do not buy your logo. Clients do not buy your website. Clients do not buy your fucking story. Everyone on a bit of paper, write the word story, then scribble it out. Clients don't care about you, unfortunately. I do, because I want to help you succeed. And the best thing you can do, just take my advice with that. Social media has become a place where people take the me out of social media, me, and that's all they talk about. Themselves, their story. There's even courses about how to tell your story on stage. Who fucking cares? The average person on the street in a symptom level situation does not care about you. They might want to buy your mentoring course. You look at someone like Tony Robbins, he's in a place now where people want to buy his time. And that's fine, but that's a progression that I'm not even in yet. People don't care about me. They just want a result. Okay. And that's all we talk about, results. And you're going to do the same thing, guys. And it comes down from the niche, your price, how you sell it, all of those things around your client. Okay. If you think your story sells, you're incorrect. Okay. And I'll prove this as we go through today. That's all it is. Keep it simple like this. Clients hire a hypnotherapist or a coach, NLP, it doesn't matter, to take them from their current situation to their desired situation. That's it. Don't confuse it any more than that. The market terrain and avoiding saturation. Here's what I mean, guys. Red ocean, blue ocean. I talk about red ocean niches and red ocean content, red ocean social media a lot, red ocean pricing. This is here. This is where I say them. Let's say 97% of them are all the people who haven't done this program are out there doing. Okay. And try for yourself, go around to their social media and have a look about what they're talking about. They're yelling, I use hypno. NLP is what you need. I help people heal their inner child. I can help you clear abundance blocks. I can help you live your best life. I'm cheaper. I've read more books. I've got a certification. Tony Robbins trained me. But this is all red ocean because everybody's doing the same thing. Okay. And what are they talking about? Root cause. What lawyer in their right mind would ever believe that their inner child is the reason they quit smoking? They would just laughed at me. But I used to talk like that. I used to try and sell that. I wonder why I didn't get any clients. But the cool thing is, if you just trust me on that, no matter how much we've taught people to do this, even in our social media, this is where the majority of people are. And unfortunately, this is where a lot of gurus will tell you to go as well. What we want to do, guys, is come over here. Crystal clear blue ocean. No competition. At its most basic form, what is our client telling us? Are they telling us root cause or symptom? They're saying, I want to quit smoking. I want to overcome this anxiety. I want to lose 20 kilos. And if we can keep it as simple as that, when we create your marketing message, you get past all the vague language like, I can help you connect, or I help starseed women connect to their inner child and inner healing power so they can grow daffodils and daisies on a planet called Mars and marry an alien due to internal trauma caused by being an inner child hater. Stupid example, jokes aside, what the fuck does that mean? A big example of this, and yes, I'm going to swear a lot today, guys, because I love talking about this stuff and get really passionate. I can help you live your best life. I can help you step into your power. I can help you change your life. It sounds great, okay? But it cannot be quantified. What does live your best life mean? Live your best life to grow a garden? Live your best life to have fun driving your car? It's not specific enough. And now you sound like every other therapist and coach out there. But what is the average Joe client who's going to be the biggest part of the market for you guys? What are they saying? This. Think about why you joined ACH. What were you saying to yourself? I want to speed up therapy. I'm sick of doing audios. I want to become a better therapist, whatever it was. It was straight to the point, and it's I wonder why I market it to you guys that way. And I've taken all the complaints about the traditional stuff, and we've created something that deletes all those issues, gets rid of those teething problems. I want you guys to do the same with your business. So when a client looks at your social media, all the doubts, the conclusions, the feelings, the symptoms, everything they're going through, you have social media one after the other, showing your depth of knowledge, showing that you can connect to the client, not with your story, but with your depth of knowledge. Over time, that person keeps looking and looking and finally says, wow, this Susan lady is a freaking expert. It's like she can read inside my head. That's what we want. Where everybody else is saying, heal your inner child, the average Joe client says, what the hell is an inner child? The only people that understand that are other therapists. Now, if you're marketing to other therapists, that's fine. Use their language. In most cases, we want this, blue ocean. Let's look at symptom hunting, okay? So when it comes to symptom hunting, what I'm talking about is, what are you looking for in a niche? How do you know what people really want? Potential clients, what they really want, compared to what you think they want or what you want for them. Get that out of your mind. It's what your clients want from you, not the other way around. So here's what happens in the industry with niching. Our ideal clients are hiding behind symptom level problems, which we spent 2 days exploring, guys, talking about symptom level problems, experiencing these symptoms, living in these symptoms, worrying about these symptoms over and over. They're complaining to everybody about the symptoms and are rarely talking about the problem you solve. Rarely. Now, if you do find a client that does say, could it be inner child, this and that, I can probably guarantee they're more interested in maybe becoming a therapist or learning from Tony Robbins. And that's fine. You can explain that to them and talking about that, but very rarely are they going to use the language that a therapist uses. They cannot see the deeper connection, but we do. We try and sell them on that deeper connection. Don't do that. If you understand, if you start to see a pattern inside your niche and maybe 90% is inner child stuff, that's fine, but don't sell them on that, because it makes no sense until the client is introduced to that in the session, because that's when it matters. Your clients just experience the symptoms. They're unaware of the real problem. These people are experiencing something, unsure what it is, and either have no idea there is a solution or no idea how to explain it. Our social media, we're going to educate them and bring their attention to that pain using their specific words, show them that there is a solution, i.e., I am the only solution for you. and make that symptom they have so painful and more obvious and more in their conscious awareness, and how they can do something about it. And we can position ourselves as the only person on the planet, hence why our prices are more expensive, that can do it. But if this person goes hunting and looks for a hypnotherapist, that hypnotherapist is going to sell them a package. Then they go, okay, they're going to go to another hypnotherapist. Another hypnotherapist is going to sell them the same package, but a little bit cheaper. Now it's red ocean. It's clients shopping for the cheapest. So if you sell hypnosis, expect to stay in red ocean prices where the average is anywhere between $50 and $150. And if you're looking at that and wondering why you can't get to 10 grand a month, the maths doesn't lie. We're going to go through all of that maths. Okay. We're going to educate them on the symptom, the real problem, and bring them up to being aware of it. We're going to do that all in our marketing, very, very strategic, and leave them on the edge of that cliff where we are the only solution. So at the same time, proving our expertise, building trust, we call this depth of knowledge. Now we have raving fans ready to buy from us. We become the Tony Robbins of our niche, the Marissa of our niche, the Erickson and Bandler of our niche. Become that person. But you can only do that blue ocean. Here's what it sort of looks like, guys, just to give you a graphic. Let me push this aside. Root cause versus symptom, okay? This is the entire niche as a whole, 100% of the niche. And this is what it looks like. The ideal clients are unaware clients. They have the problem, they experience it, they have the pain, but they're either ignoring it, it doesn't give them enough pain to want to take action, or they don't even realize that there is a solution. All they think is, I guess I'm going to live with this back pain for the rest of my life. I guess I'm always going to be a smoker. They know they want something else, but they don't even know where to start looking. Okay. This is the entire niche. What we're after, and it's actually the biggest part, the biggest part of the niche. It's the bigger part of the market, sorry, but it's where all the other hypnotherapists hang out. They're all after this person here. What we're going to do is take this person, bring up their awareness, and include us as the only solution. Okay. So while every other hypnotherapist is down here, low-hanging fruit, just trying to get this person by giving away the cheapest thing, selling the cheapest thing, we want to bring our client up to awareness. It goes from education, awareness, and expert all the way up till they trust us so much as the only person that understands what they're talking about. Okay, that's what our social media does. And that's why it's so important to become that social media mogul and become that person, because over time of repeating this, you can coast off the amount of inputs you put now into the industry now and become somebody. I had to do it. Everybody does it. Now, there are therapists and entrepreneurs out there that I call accidentalpreneurs. They made a fancy logo on Canva and bang, they hit $1 million the first year. That's not me. That is 1 in a million chances. Okay, I can't teach you that because I don't know how they did it. It just happened. Okay, I'm going to bring you over to the place where grinding right now and putting the effort in now pays off long term. Okay. All right, the niche trap. All right. So mistakes when picking a niche. These are all the things that I did. Thinking you are married to that niche for the rest of your life, or never deciding and staying in choice limbo. This is the biggest one, guys. Choice limbo. You wake up one morning, you want to have a niche. Next morning, you change your mind. Next morning after that, you change your mind. Then you give up being a therapist and you want to become a person that sells pillows on eBay. Do that for a couple of weeks, then you come back to therapy. Then you become a clairvoyant. Then you go to reading angel card. You chop and change your niche, but you're also chopping and changing your whole business model without ever deciding on something and seeing what happens by sticking with it. I tell this to everybody, and it's quite blunt. Either do this or don't, 100%. Choice limbo is absolutely agonizing in your mind. Don't be on the fence. Either do it or don't. If you're not really committed to wanting to do it, give it up. As long as you're happy to give it up, I'm happy for you. Just don't go through that war and pain inside your mind of staying in which one should I choose and spending a year procrastinating on it, okay? This is a big one as well, picking multiple niches. This is never the answer. It's one niche, one price, one offer, one marketing strategy. As you progress later, you can introduce programs, you can introduce mentoring, you can introduce whatever you want, but start from Think of Amazon when it first started. They started selling books from a garage. Now he's one of the richest men in the world and he sold the company. Okay. But it started from one place. Elon Musk with PayPal. He was part of PayPal before they kicked him out, unfortunately. Started with one thing. Now he's got Tesla, SpaceX. He's creating technology to put inside people's heads to live in virtual reality. He's trying to solve issues with people that can't move their body below the neck. He's got all these, you know, he bought Twitter, as we know. He's got 5, 6, maybe a dozen things going on and business things going on, but it all started with one thing. Next is thinking you are not qualified enough to pick a niche and be an expert in it. The expert status takes time. It's not an overnight thing. You've got to just start somewhere. This is a big one. Pick what everybody else is doing and not making your own decision based on what you know about that specific problem and what you know about the market. Being too afraid to be you and instead just trying to fit into the room, just trying to do what everybody else does because you don't want to step on people's toes. Your story is not your niche. Your type of therapy is not your niche. Every time you market your type of therapy, all you are doing is sending more people's awareness to that training company. I tell people, do not mention my name in your marketing. Don't sell my company, sell your own. So if you've got a guru out there saying that people buy this specific type of therapy, all they're really doing, whether they realize or not, is just having you market their business for you. The average person doesn't know what NLP is to this type of therapy, to that type of hypnosis. Don't do it. Entering a niche and helping clients to solve the same problems with the same things as everybody else, you are left with fighting on price, convenience, location, i.e. red ocean. Can't just do the same as everybody else. So this is really how it looks, the 100K coaching equation. Symptom hunting niche. Who this person is it women, men, teachers, lawyers, average Joe on the street, age, whatever you want. What do they want, or what are they experiencing? Sorry. What your offer is, what you solve, and your price attached to it, and what we call MOS, minimum optimum service. What's the least amount of effort my client can put in, the least amount of time, which is the least amount of sessions for you guys, the least amount of hours, all of that stuff. We call this quickest results, minimum optimum service. The result is what they want. So what does this look like, guys? This is what happened to me. These are the niches I go through. It's very rare that we have someone in this program nail it on the first niche. Okay. So me, it sort of started out like this, started out helping people overcome their issues. I was a generalist, and being a generalist was okay. In my 20s, it was fine because there was no other therapist around. It wasn't a big thing. I did some weight loss, did some anxiety, did some pain control, did a lot of smoking and had confidence, all of that stuff. And then I started to look because my business wasn't going anywhere. I started to work with lawyers a lot to quit smoking, and they gave me a lot of ideas around this. And I noticed that lawyers tend to have a specific type of law that they follow, a type of law they're good at. And I started to look at my business as it is, knew I wanted to grow it, and thought, okay, which is the type of client that I'm seeing the most? Who do I like the most? Getting the best results? That's lawyers quitting smoking. Okay. I took the smoking part and narrowed my focus to helping people still quit smoking. And it was good, successful. Up here, the RO stands for a little bit of red ocean. This turned into more blue ocean, a little bit of red ocean still, because I was still a little bit of a generalist, but I got away with it because it was hardly any competition. Then again, I looked back, followed the lawyers, listened to what they were saying, looked at them vicariously, narrowed down to just helping the lawyers quit smoking on their lunch break. Extremely successful, blue ocean. Now, was I able to help them quit on the lunch break straight away? Hell no, it took me time. I went from the average 1 to 3 hours or 1 to 3 sessions down to just 2 hours, down to an hour and 45 minutes, then down. Now, where did I get this lunch break thing? Because I listened to them, and the only time they had was their lunch break. Now, sure, some came in mid-morning, some came after the lunch break. That became my tagline. Now, if you look at this as just being my marketing message, is there any vagueness to that? Can you read that, understand exactly what I did? Now, does that mean other people that were not lawyers didn't come and see me? No, because I attracted those people too, because I was an expert in something. So guys, write this down. Once you're an expert in one thing, people will add an automatic expert label to you and assume you're an expert at everything else. Look at Michael Jordan when playing basketball. to Michael Jordan playing baseball. What a disaster. But everyone thought he'd be great because he was great at basketball. Okay. From there, like anything, passion dies. I had a change of mind. I got sick of seeing the smokers. I always remember my last stop smoking session was an elderly woman. I'm pretty sure she was a lawyer. We got about 5 or 10 minutes into the session. I looked at her and said, look, I can't do this. I'm done with this. Here's your money back. And that was the end of that. I wanted something new. It wasn't that I stopped enjoying the therapy, but I was just getting bored with it. People get that. Then I went to helping athletes with pain control. Now, this happened because lawyers were sending me family members and acquaintances that were playing NHL, like ice hockey, and NFL players, which we did over Zoom and stuff like that. Am I saying go do a niche with athletes? Sometimes it's really tough because those athletes' managers do not want to include hypnosis, hard to get a hold of them, blah, blah, blah. It worked well because I had a foot in the door, and that was okay. And although I wrote red ocean, blue ocean, it's just I didn't enjoy it as much. And I started to realize it's not the actual niche. I'm actually just losing the thrill of therapy for whatever reason, which I'm glad I did because now I did something else. Okay. Fired all my clients, went broke, angry, pissed off, had no idea, forgot to do the things that I learned up here. Okay. That the lawyers taught me, which was logic, asymmetry, taking action. I went into my shell, started doing, not my shell, went into my shell, started doing all the mindset stuff. I've done every Mind Valley course out there, done all of those things, the audios, the journal, nothing happened. I became lazy, unhappy, frustrated, pissed off, but I knew in the back of my mind what to do, but for some reason I didn't take action. Then I started to look at where I was, practically broke, can't afford to live in my apartment anymore. Thought, what do I want to do now? Okay. I started thinking, well, I always wanted to teach for some reason. Why don't I just start teaching hypnosis? Had good success with it. Had good success with this style of therapy and what I've learned and stuff like that. The revivification of not loving to be a therapist, but teaching it, that started to excite me. It was something I didn't have for a long time. So that was really cool. So what I did was I decided to start teaching conversational hypnosis at events. Did okay. A little bit successful at the start, bit of red ocean, blue ocean. This is what's crazy. Although I was teaching conversation hypnosis, I reached out to other mentors and gurus that were speaking on stage. They refused to help me for whatever reason. Those same people now are coming back wanting to be my courses, which is quite cool. I didn't know how to teach. I didn't know if you needed to, I thought you needed a license to teach on stage. Little crazy thoughts I had, which I look at it back now as maybe just me trying to procrastinate a bit. But I started teaching conversation hypnosis, but the word conversation hypnosis was out there and other therapists were teaching it, but it was the script thing. I had no differentiation from what I knew conversation hypnosis to be to what the regular trainer was teaching. So it got lost in translation. I didn't know how to explain it properly. Imagine trying to explain unconscious moments to people. Imagine trying to explain processing. Imagine trying to explain that the way we're going to do this is sit in a big group and talk to each other. That's very hard to do on a sales page because I was not good at marketing. I was good at marketing to sell to these people, but as social media being so new at the time, it was very hard to get that point across. So I had to do what I did. Slowly, my name got out there. My first event, guys, we had 6 people. I've got the photos so that you guys can see it. Looking at that, I could have said, oh, this sucks, this failed. But I had a goal that I set logically, and I had a bit of passion coming about, which was nice. So I started teaching it, did okay. All right. Then I decided as it was going through a few more events, a little bit of money coming in, I did the biggest mistake possible that everybody would do. As things start working, you'll fuck the whole thing up, change things, change your mind, get rid of the systems, do what everybody does, put a spanner in the works. And I thought, instead of going to the market and finding out what people want, which were other therapists saying, I want to learn your style of therapy, I ignored that and thought, I'm watching Tony Robbins, I'm watching all these gurus, they're selling on stage. What if I teach people to speak on stage and I sell events, tell people how to host and sell at their events, which I didn't know how to do at the time. 6 people was not really selling it out. What do you think happened? I failed because I had no experience in it. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of gurus do. They'll sell something they have no fucking experience in. That's why it doesn't work. So I screwed that up, spent a lot of money doing that, a lot of time, screwed it up, but I kept going. That's the key thing here. I kept going. Then from there, I started selling conversation hypnosis programs online. Why? Because I didn't have to travel. Cost a lot of money to hire rooms, a lot of money to fly, which I wasn't really keen on. All of those things. I started looking for excuses. Started to sell things online, did okay, but it failed as well. Why? Because I didn't know how to market it. I wasn't taking the right action. Then from there, fuck this up. Started teaching a new form of personal development based on conversation hypnosis. Okay, I thought I could out-teach Tony Robbins. I thought I could steal all his audience. What happened? Spent over $25,000 on ads, funnels. I hired agencies, all that. Went nowhere. Lost 25 grand. Gone. Completely gone. Why? Because instead of finding out what the market needs and finding a blue ocean, finding a gap, finding where the struggles are from real people, I thought I could go up against these big personal development industries. Now, there is a message in there, guys. Don't do that first. You've got to start somewhere small, build up to that. Okay. Then I went back to square one, started looking at what a hypnotherapist really need. And I noticed there's not a lot of people teaching the business. And I got good at that. I was making great money with those lawyers because I learned from them. So I started teaching hypnotherapists to grow their business at live events, and it did okay. I think I got the niche right, but the live events was a hassle because I couldn't speak to, like you guys, 150, 160 people overseas. I couldn't do that. So I was very isolated to my, where I was living in Australia. Did okay, bit of a red ocean, blue ocean, but I was starting to get a feel for something. Then I thought, what's the easiest way to make this? MOS, minimum optimum service. How about I start taking what I was teaching on stage as a business model and start teaching a therapist how to grow their business with an online course? Here we are today. Now, I only started teaching this ACH course, for those who don't know, 2 years ago. I hadn't taught or seen a client for, actually, no, we started in 2000. I think my first course was 2014, went to 2019, stopped for a while. It was about a year or two, even a little bit longer with that timeline. I started teaching this again. Why did I decide to stop just teaching business, which is still doing very well? It's our main, bread and butter for our company. That's the 100K coaching program. And we're teaching something from the real world that I did. It's not just coming up with shit on the spot, as most other programs will have. But I listened to you guys. If you want to thank anybody for why we're teaching ACH again, go thank Mike Branner. He started nagging me for probably about 6 months because he saw my old Udemy course, if you guys have seen that, and he kept watching it and he kept messaging me, and I said, don't message me. I tell people all the time, don't message me on Facebook. He kept going. I thought, oh, fuck it. I'll just sell. That's what you guys want. And that's what we did. Here we are now. And it sells out every time. Why? Because I listened to you guys rather than just making shit up. Okay. But all in all, guys, it's quite a long, hope you're with me still. If I had not taken action, tried things, evolved myself, started looking at things logically instead of the mindset woo-woo stuff, I would still be stuck wondering. So when it comes to picking the niche, it's quite loaded, guys. But by the end of this, the biggest thing you can do is just take action on something and keep fucking going. Okay, cause and effect. We have to allow time to teach you things. But most people give up after a week. Most people, they create one video on YouTube, gets a bad comment, and they give up because they freak out. We're going to talk about all those things today. Had I not taken action, wouldn't be where we are now. Okay, which means I wouldn't be able to teach you guys. So let's come back. Let's get a bit of feedback.